If you or someone you know wants to be the next Russell Simmons, Sean Diddy Combs, or Deborah Lee, you don't want to miss our next guest.
She's the co-founder of Women in Entertainment Empowerment Network, WEEN, and she's creating opportunities in one of the toughest industries on the planet. Valeisha Butterfield Jones, welcome to Arise 360.
Thank you for having me.
Ooh, lady in red.
Hey,
yeah.
why not? First day of spring.
Right. Looking good, girl.
Thank you.
Let's talk about WEEN. What's the mission of WEEN?
Our goal is to empower the next generation of entertainment leaders. We were established in 2007, and now 7 years in the game, we have more than 86,000 members across the world, and we're all about empowerment.
Wow. Well, what was the catalyst behind starting this, and why was it so important for you?
It's so interesting. I've been very fortunate to work for very powerful men like Russell Simmons, like President Barack Obama. And what I found I lacked personally was strong female mentors. And so back in '07, when the discussion turned to the portrayal of women in entertainment, the portrayal of women in hip hop, I said, you know what? I work in this industry. I worked for Russell at the time, and I felt like it was my responsibility to put this issue on my back and really make a difference.
So how does one become a member of WEEN?
It's free. You go to the website weenonline.org, and you just sign up. And from there, we automatically just roll you right into the program. We're open for all members, not just women, but men as well, and of all ages.
Now, that's a little bit easier than the WEEN Academy. You have to talk about this because there's a big competition coming up, and you have to tell us how people can participate. And what is the WEEN Academy exactly?
So the WEEN Academy is a 4-week crash course in the entertainment business.
Ooh,
but
that
to
sounds
get
scary.
in, it is brutal.
It sounds like The Apprentice.
Yes,
Right.
very similar to The Apprentice.
Okay.
So each year we have hundreds of young women between the ages of 18 to 22 enroll, audition, and compete for 30 coveted spots.
Okay.
Whoa.
And so it's very intense. We have people like Stephen Hill from BET, Deborah Lee, Sylvia Rohn, you name it, as the judges. So they sit on a judging panel, and the young women give us their best 60-second pitch.
About themselves, about their life, what does the pitch consist of?
Personal and professional. So you have to be very candid, very real. You don't have to be a college student, but within that age bracket, and you know, you just give your best.
In 60 seconds.
Ooh, I love that.
To make it to the second round.
Make it to the second round.
Yeah.
So it's a real elevator pitch in that way.
Absolutely.
So what sorts of things do people try to get in that 60 seconds to convince you all that they're worthy of being a part of the Academy?
I've heard it all.
Really?
So
tell us, what have you heard?
I've heard things like, you know, they want to be the next Oprah.
Okay.
You know, or they want to be the next Sylvia Rohn, or the next, I mean, you know, you name it. I mean, producers, entertainment executives, they really want to be behind the scenes in the business, which is especially appealing for us because we want girls to see the other side of the industry. Right. And so, yeah, I mean, I've heard it all, but definitely, you know, they give us their best.
So what are you looking for exactly?
What will catch your eye?
Yes, what
Passion.
makes a WEEN candidate?
Passion. You know, you could put anything on your resume. You could write a strong bio, but the way you present, especially with young girls so addicted to text messaging now, we want to see your social skills, how well you communicate. Can you connect directly with your audience, and can you be as genuine as possible with all of the lights and cameras around? And so it really is about passion, authenticity, and really like having the drive to make it in such a competitive male-dominated industry.
Well, you must have been very passionate about the industry because you were started off as an unpaid intern.
Oh boy, at 24 years old.
Yes. What 24-year-old starts off as an unpaid intern?
A passionate one?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you know, I really gave myself no other option. I moved to New York City, slept on my friend's couch in Brooklyn in one of the worst neighborhoods there, and I was determined to break into the business. About 24 interviews later, I finally landed in the office of Russell Simmons, and in about 60 seconds, I was hired as his unpaid intern and stayed there for 11 months unpaid, and then left 7 years later as the vice president. So.
What did you say to Russell Simmons to convince him to give you a shot?
I get asked that question all the time. I came in overly prepared.
Okay.
So I had my briefcase and my pearls and my bun, and I was so suited up that I completely lost focus when he walked in the room.
Wow.
And I over-prepared, and he told me, you know, quite frankly, you know, what the F are you doing here?
He said that to you?
I mean, in so many words.
And your response was?
I lost all of my talking points. They went away, and I came from a very real place. And I said, I moved here from North Carolina. I'm interested in adding value to your company. I don't have a lot of experience, but I guarantee you I will be the hardest, smartest, fastest worker if you bring me into your company. And on the spot, he introduced me into the entire company as the new intern.
What was he like as a boss?
Yeah. Did he teach you any yoga moves?
He attempted. I did become a vegetarian after working for him. But, you know, he was a tough love boss. So
What does that mean exactly?
He will tell you like it is. If you screw up, you know it. Right away. I'll never forget my first week on the job. I had to go to Detroit for a hip hop summit. He was there. Eminem was there. I mean, it was star-studded. And my job that day was to book Russell's car service. When he walked out, the car service wasn't there. And you can imagine, you know, what I went through in that moment, but I never did it again. And so it really sharpened every skill that I had, every tool that I had, and really prepared me for the next phase, which was in Washington, D.C.
Well, what's the success secret behind you working your way up to the VP of the company? That's huge.
I think a couple of things. First, just be a student. You know, you don't know it all. Don't claim to know it all. Go in and really be a sponge and become educated in the environment that you're in. The second is, again, work harder, smarter, faster than your counterparts, because you are a young African-American woman in a very competitive field, and you have to prove yourself and, you know, earn your spot. And so that was, you know, the second thing. And then finally, just finding the gaps and filling those gaps. And so I really was I was great at observing the environment that I was in and then figuring out how to add value in those gaps.
Valeisha, really quickly, I want to talk about this lean in movement,
Yes.
this banning of the word bossy. What do you make of all of that?
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, how can you not be bossy if you're the boss?
Exactly.
And, you know, I mean, you know, quite frankly, you know, as a woman especially, you have to assert yourself. You have to lean in. You have to be aggressive at times. And you have to be confident without being arrogant or cocky. And so I think it's a bit ridiculous. And I definitely think that we should teach young women to be assertive and to be bossy. Without the attitude, without the, you know,
That's the
finger.
difference, without all that.
There's a difference,
But
yeah.
do you think there is a double standard?
Of
When
course.
a woman is assertive, self-confident, very clear about what she wants, she's called the B word or the C word sometimes. When a man is all of those traits, he's celebrated.
Oh, there's absolutely a double standard. And what I found was that you can't please everyone. And in my 20s, I spent too much time. I wasted a lot of time trying to be everything to everyone. And I ended up burning myself out. And I found as I matured and gained more experience that you just figure out how you add value and how you could be the best you. And if that is aggressive, if that is bossy, that is a little bit outspoken, be who you are, but still have a little class.
I like that. Be the best you.
Yes.
All right. Well, before you go, tell us one last time where people can learn more information about the WEEN program and participate in the WEEN Academy.
WEENonline.org. That's WEEN online.org. It's free to become a member and to audition on March 29th.
March 29th.
Get your 60-second pitches ready.
I know. Yeah.
Bring your A game.
I want to audition. Valeisha,
Be
can I
a
please?
mentor.
There you go. Be a mentor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.